Good morning, everybody. Silas back again today on this beautiful morning. I'm here at my place. I'm going to unload my truck. I got all the stuff left in it from yesterday, and then as soon as I get it all unloaded, I'm going to head back out there, and we're going to see how much we can get done today. I'm hoping we can get it done this week. Today's Thursday, so that means we got today and tomorrow. I mean, I know we won't get it completely done. There's going to be a bunch of stuff to haul home, a couple trucks, some big stuff. But I mean, as far as cleaning out the buildings and picking up the junk on the ground, hopefully we can get most of it done in the next 2 days. There we go. That raised my truck up a few inches. This truck here was not liking that load. I had a bunch of batteries and some electric motors, starters, alternators, that sort of stuff, and a bunch of copper and brass and some other old stuff. So I had probably about 1,500 pounds in the back of this truck, and she'll haul it, but she wasn't liking it. I could feel it. But I'm done here now. I'm going to hit the road, and I'll see you guys out there at the farm. I'm a little bit worried. I was looking for my GoPro, and I remembered I laid it on the tire of the loader as I was locking the doors up on it yesterday. So hopefully my GoPro and my tripod are still out there, because I completely forgot those, and I'm just hoping nobody went out there last night and found them for me. We'll find out here in a minute. Made it back out here, and my GoPro is still sitting right where I left it. So happy days. A little bit frosty. I'm sure my battery's dead from sitting out in the freezing cold all night. I don't know how cold it got last night. I think it was about 20 degrees. But at least it's still here. Go set it over here in the truck so it can warm up. Not sure where we're going to start today. I'm thinking we'll go ahead and try to get that building back there completely done. And I don't know if I'm going to work back in the trees or if I'm going to work on cleaning out this little shed here, because that's all that's left to do after that is the shed and everything back in the trees. So we may work on both. I don't know. That shed probably won't take all day, so we may do it first. I've got a little bit of big stuff laying around. I'm going to gather up real quick with the loader and throw it in the dumpster, but that loader is not going to move for probably 20-30 minutes when it's this cold. So I want to get it started, then I'll walk around, maybe film something else. Well, I think the loader's about warmed up now. That there was just a little bit of walking around cinematic footage. Something I've been wanting to do for a while, just messing around with my gimbal. Hope you guys enjoyed that part, but now let's get to work. we go. I went back in the trees, did some tree work and drug out all the big stuff. Those two pieces over there, I'm for sure going to keep the old hay rake, and that other piece is kind of neat looking. So in this video it doesn't look very good, but when you actually look at it in person where it's set up right, it looks pretty cool. So I'll probably try to save it. The old hay wagon and the manure spreader are just scrap. If the wheels come off the manure spreader really easy, I'll save those, but that's a big if. And everything else I got out, I managed to fit in the dumpster. The dumpster is starting to fill up pretty fast though, putting this big stuff in there. So I've got a big pile of iron out back. I'm gonna try the loader with the bucket out there, park next to that, and we're gonna get that cleaned up. We'll finish up this building first. There's a little bit of scrap laying out here, and then in here there's a little bit more scrap. Got these old bicycles, I'll throw those in the back of the old 63. And I got this old wrought iron bed, we'll throw it in there. And then all this other scrap metal that's laying around in here will go in the bucket. We'll dump it out there in the dumpster. So once that's done, we got this pile of iron here. We'll get this done yet today, just in case it does snow. I want to save the building for last, because if it snows, I can still work inside the building. I'm going to try to get all this stuff off the ground outside first. And that building over there has a little bit of stuff in it, but once again, I can do that even if it snows. So if we get all this stuff picked up and finish that building over there, and then we got that building over there, and I got a little bit more scrap iron out here in the tree row. I want to jump in the skid steer now, start grabbing that stuff. So if we can get all that done today, we'll be doing good. And then no matter what the weather does, I can come back out here and work inside these other buildings. I've got all these deals all along here, and I thought they were two different units. I already got rid of some of these over here, but actually each of those is individual. And with the loader, it's just kind of hard to pick those up when they're all like that. I can only get about 2 or 3 at a time. So with the skid steer, I can run in here and stack them in a pile. I can probably get all these in 3 trips. And then after that, I've got a swing set and a little tank over there I got to grab. And I believe that's about it out here. I believe there's a big toolbox or something over there in those trees. And then everything else is inside this building here. Just like that, I was able to pick up 4 of them. I just set one up on top in the middle, and then grabbed all 3 of the ones on the bottom and the one on top. So yeah, I do that 2 more times probably. If I get my camera to focus, there it goes. Yeah, I do that 2 more times. I can get all that stuff out of there, out of that box, and we'll be done out here. Got all that done, and I'm back here looking, and it looks like there's some sort of auger, grain auger over there. To get that out, I'm probably gonna have to hook a chain on it. I don't really see a good way of getting through these trees here. And then also down here, there's a whole big pile of pipe. And one end is down here, the other end is all the way down there, so it's a fairly long pipe. If it's too long to fit in the dumpster, I may have to leave that behind. And it's pretty rusty looking, so I'm a little bit worried about radiation, and I don't have a radiation checker, so I may not mess with this stuff. Yeah, I'm definitely leaving that pipe behind. That's the lined kind that has a liner inside it, and that's the kind that usually holds radiation. So it's not worth it to me to send the load in and then reject it and have to dump it on the ground, pull the pipe back out, and put everything back in the dumpster. It's too risky, especially when your dumpsters are clear full of nails. So we're just gonna leave that lay. If I remember to grab my radiation checker, I'll bring it back out tomorrow and check it. If not, I'll just let it finish rusting in the ground. Then I got another plow back here, or chisel or something. I didn't even see it till just now, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab it and go see how Jason's doing on the fill in the bucket. We just thought we were done in this building here. There was those 2 great big sheets of steel down there on the floor. Probably weighed a couple 100 pounds a piece at least. And then there's just a bunch of other wheels and iron and stuff scattered around. And I'm still gonna have to come back in here and make one more trip, because all that up there is tin on this shelf. And there's a bunch more iron up above, and over there in the corner on the other side of those file cabinets is another big pile of iron. So there's way more than I thought there was. Well, I forgot to bring a chain. Luckily, I was able to wiggle around through here just barely enough to catch it and scoot it over. And now I can drag it on out. I'll have to be a little bit violent with it, but I'll get it out of here. That's the bad thing about this loader. You always have to remember with one of these articulating loaders is whatever direction you turn when you're backing up, the forks will swing the opposite direction. So as I turn to the left and I'm backing up, they automatically just start going to the right. You always have to keep that in mind, or else you'll get yourself in a bind in a hurry. There we go, it's out. There's an old 3-wheeler in this barn. It's been taken apart. We got everything out of there except for the basic chassis part of it. So he's got a chain hooked up to it. We found a chain, so we're gonna drag it out of there. I see he hooked up to the lawnmower piece. I thought he said the three-wheeler piece, but now he got the lawnmower. That's got to come out of there anyway, so. There we go. I get it now. We got the lawnmower piece out. That way we can get it out of the way so he can get in there to get to the three-wheeler piece. Makes more sense now. There is not much holding this old building up. There's an old Schwinn bicycle that he's getting out now. I tried to peel the roof off it the best I can. You can kind of see he's grabbing it out of there now. Got to take a few of those runners out of there, get them out of the way, and that bike will come right out. So this one bicycle, I didn't even realize it was in there. I have no clue what that is.
It's got a hit and miss back sprocket and that tiny little crank.
Yeah. It's got a funky design to it. It looks like it's some sort of Southeast Asian writing. It's not Japanese or not Chinese. So I don't know if it'd be what language it would be. It's got a weird setup on it. Got this little rack. It says SSS up here on the fender, so I don't know. I'll have to take it and do some more research. It's pretty rough, but what are the chances you find something like this in a dilapidated barn in the middle of Kansas?
From the old barn comes the green dragster.
We got about half of that pile out there cleaned up. I'm gonna go ahead and dump this in the dumpster. He should be here any minute to pick this dumpster up. He's in the area, so we'll get it out of here. I haven't found out what that last dumpster weighed yet. As soon as he gets here, I'll find out, let you guys know. There was just a tiny bit of room left in there, so I got this big auger piece that we got out of that far right door on that shed. Got this and that engine out of there. The engine's already in the dumpster, but I figure there's a little bit of room. I can probably pack this in up at the front. So we'll take care of that. Fit? Oh yeah, it'll fit. Doing this one-handed is kind of a challenge. Yeah, I can cram that in there, but I'll have to use both hands to do it. It fit like a glove. I actually have a tiny bit more room up here at the front. There's a couple barrels up back that I was gonna leave behind. They're not really worth anything from scrap-wise, but it would make the place look nicer to have those gone. So I'll go ahead and pack those in here real quick. I found this old fuel tank back there. I figure that's the perfect piece I need to fill that last hole up at the front of the dumpster. Easiest way to pick up a barrel with forks is you just smush the barrel down around the fork. Then it just pinches it on there, then you scrape it off in the dumpster. There he goes. He said that last one weighed about 13 tons almost. So that's pretty good weight. This dumpster here is probably a lot less than that. This is probably more down around the 6-ton mark. But anything over 4 tons I figure is good enough. Most of the dumpsters coming out of here, I think the lightest one we've done so far was 5 tons. Most of them have been 6 to 9 tons. But that 13 tonner, that's a good one. See if I can wiggle in here and get this piece of iron out of here. Bingo, I got it. The owner just left a minute ago. She came out here to talk to me, see how things were going. And I guess there's some more stuff in the barn that does go. So I guess we're not done in there. Or not the barn, in the shed. I keep calling this the barn, but the shed. There's an old chicken incubator and an old stove, and that couch over in the corner goes, and some old file cabinets. So odds and ends stuff. Once again, I keep surprising myself. I keep saying, oh, we're almost done. And then we're never almost done. But I thought there was just a few pieces of iron right here, so I pull up here with the loader, and we stacked it full of iron. And there's still more down in here. There's 2 sticks of railroad iron and this big green thing. I got to fork them out with the loader though. And then over there beside that dead tree, there's a bunch more iron. So I have to fork it out too. And then we got more down there, although some of that I'm keeping. But yeah, we'll get this done yet today though. Well, we got a few pieces of furniture we're gonna go ahead and take home. This old couch, Art Deco style. Fabric on it is very, very rough. I mean, it's trashed fabric wise. But all the woodwork looks like it's halfway decent still. That's definitely Art Deco era. So as long as it doesn't fall in half in the process of getting it out of here, go ahead and hang on to it. Most of the furniture back here has been burnt, so it's probably just gonna get tossed in a pile and finished off getting burnt. But this one piece, it's a dresser, it's missing the mirror, but it's still in halfway good condition. I'm gonna go ahead and take it home. If I decide I don't want it, I'm gonna pull this really cool hardware off of it. You can see it's got some smoke damage to it, so it'll completely need restored. But I just really like these. So if nothing else, I'll save those and pitch the rest, or I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, the rest of this here is all burnt. There is a chicken incubator, brooder, whatever you wanna call them. I don't know all the technical terms, but that will save it. I thought this piece was kind of neat here. I'll go ahead and hang on to it. The mirror's broken, but still has good styling. And then this is an old box camera, I guess. I didn't know what it was. Jason knew exactly what it was. But what's really cool about it is it's in really rough condition. It's all here, but it still has an instruction booklet with it. You had to pay an extra 50 cents for from Sears and Roebuck. So that's the cool thing about this camera, is that it comes with the original booklet that you had to pay extra for. Well, we got all the little scrap gathered up. I think there's actually a couple little pieces over here, and there's a little piece back there, and a few little pieces over here, a little bit down in there yet. So probably one more bucket load of scrap laying around. Then we got to clean that building out back there yet. And there's this little bit of stuff here. Most of this is grown into the tree roots. I can't get it out of there. So I'll do the best I can here, but a lot of that's probably gonna have to stay with the farm. We got all the scrap out of this building now. Got this old stove. That top piece actually doesn't go to that bottom piece. Those are 2 separate deals. But they're in decent condition, and they don't weigh very much. So I'll go ahead and take them home and try to find a new home for them. I hate to see the stuff get scrapped if I can find a home for it. And if I can't find somebody that's interested in them by spring or summer or so, then I'll go ahead and scrap them later. Got this old base. That's pretty neat. I thought somebody might make a coffee table or something out of that. Just got other odds and ends stuff that I'm keeping laying up here. It's getting late today though, so what I'm probably gonna do is head out here in just a minute. There's one thing out back I wanna go check out. We'll go look at that together. But before we do that, I'll just kind of give you my game plan for tomorrow. I wanna gather all the stuff I'm keeping up, get everything gathered up here. There's some old iron wheels and some other odds and ends out back. Get that all brought up here. I'm gonna try to drag the stuff out of that shed up here. Get everything gathered up here where it's short grass, flat ground. That way if we get a bunch of snow over the weekend, when I come back out Monday, I know where everything's at. And I'm probably not going to clean out that last building until, if I have time tomorrow, I will. Otherwise, it'll be Monday. just because I don't want to do that and then have all this stuff get buried in snow. So I got to prioritize a little bit with the weather coming in. But there's a deal out back. I want to check it out. So I figured now's a good opportunity to do that. So I'm going to head back there, see if I can find it. And I'll show you guys here in just a minute. Now there's a sketchy tree stand. Can you imagine climbing up that now? I'm sure that was put up a long time ago, but still, all the rungs are breaking on it. And then check these out. Where this barbed wire used to run through here. And restricted the tree. Both of these trees, or actually all these trees through here, all have rings around them. It's crazy how the barbed wire actually stretched. If the barbed wire was any tighter, the tree would have just grown around it eventually. Boy, this is beautiful back here. I know I have my little tiny 20-acre plot, but one of these days I'd love to own land like this. Just tons and tons of trees and a little bit of farm ground. That'd be awesome. One exciting thing is they did give me permission to come back in the spring and go mushroom hunting. They've got a bunch of big cottonwood groves out here, so, and elm groves, that sort of stuff. So I'm really excited about that. Hopefully the mushrooms grow out here. There's no rivers or streams nearby. That's the only bad deal, but that doesn't always mean anything. The only thing is, to get this much land anymore is you either have to be a multi-millionaire or you have to have family that you can inherit the land from. Because this stuff's gotten so expensive anymore. It's $3,000 to $4,000 an acre for good land. And if you have 700 acres, that's over $2 million. Not counting if there's a house or anything like that on it. So nobody in my family has land. My dad has a little bit, but it's all junkyards. Nobody else has anything like that. So I guess I'll have to start buying land for my kids. Well, I think we're getting close. And there it is. This is what I hiked all the way back here to see. Yeah, I saw this on my Onyx hunting app, and I thought, well, that's kind of cool. And I saw there's an old barn beside it falling over. Thought I'd come back here and see if there's anything cool here. But there's a big cottonwood grove right there, clear full of crows. They're not happy about me being here, that's for sure. Doesn't look like there's anything here. Bunch of neat tin, but so far back in here, it's not worth getting out. It looks like the rest of this whole building fell in a long time ago. That thing's still standing good though. That's a really good sign here. Right next to this cottonwood grove, there's a bunch of cattails in a little low area. So you can tell this area must have been a stream at one point in time, or it must hold water or something like that. So that's a really good sign that there could be mushrooms over there in those trees this spring. I heard the noise of this jet. I just thought it was a growl at first when I first heard it, and I thought, oh boy, I'm walking into something I don't want to see. But just a jet. Out here, there's not too many animals you really have to worry about. I mean, there are coyotes, but they don't usually do anything. You just ignore them, they ignore you. But we don't have bears, we don't have wolves, we don't have venomous snakes. So really, when you're out hiking in the woods, you don't really have to worry about much. Although there have been a few mountain lion sightings out in this area, part of the state. Just they're very few and far between. And so that's not something I'm really concerned about either. Usually when I'm out mushroom hunting, I do carry a weapon. But today, since I'm working, I don't have anything on me. So hopefully we don't find a mountain lion. Well, I finally made it back up to the house. I am exhausted. Worse than I was when I was throwing iron. Working out here in these overalls and my work boots. These aren't really made for hiking at all. So I'm exhausted. Normally when I go out mushroom hunting or exploring or hiking, that sort of stuff, I don't wear overalls, number one, and then I have hiking boots. So it's way more comfortable that way. But I made it back up here. I'm gonna head home now. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And remember to get out there and find an adventure. We'll see you next time.